My dudes, it's your boy, Adam Ward. And if you're listening, you probably want to help this YBC train keep moving. So if you haven't already, you can follow your boy every damn where. Instagram and Facebook at AWP, your boy cancelled, and Twitter and YouTube at your boy cancelled. And if you're able to, I'd appreciate a rate and review on Apple Podcasts, as that really does go a long way into sharing your boy far and wide and letting people know you were there from the beginning, my dudes, before your boy was a top dog. And joining me this week is an actor, writer, performer, and one hell of a talent. It's my friend Claire Bryan. Like I say in this episode, I really see her as a staple of the Liverpool fringe theatre scene. Her attitude, work rate, and performances across the board are always stellar, and it was great just to sit down and chat with her. We talk her show Raw in 20s, dealing with rejection, and I put her Lady Gaga knowledge to the test. So without further ado, this is episode 14 of Your Boy Cancelled, Your Boy's Gaga.
I'm Claire Bryan, and you're listening to Your Boy Cancelled with Adam Ward.
So my dudes, it's your boy Adam Ward, and joining me this week is an actor, performer, writer, works in radio. She does it all, and she's talented as hell. My good friend Claire Bryan. How's it going, madam?
Hi. It's all good. It's all good. Bit bored, but what can you do?
Yeah, I am incredibly bored. You know what I've been considering recently?
Go on.
So you know at the start of lockdown, like the old original lockdown, back in the day lockdown, and everybody was having these like lockdown beards.
Right.
And I'm the youngest man alive, so I'm not going to grow a lockdown beard. But one thing I've been thinking about is a lockdown petite mustache.
Please do it.
I think it's
we
the
need
look.
this, Adam.
I think it's the look.
We need this. Yeah. I mean, I've also been getting a lockdown beard, but maybe that's just because I've just turned 30. I don't know.
Which is what happens.
They don't warn you about these things, you know.
It's all over for us now.
I think you would do that.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I think Erin would hate it though, but I've been giving a lot of thought to it. Tyler the Creator has one, and he looks fantastic. I mean, I'm not Tyler the Creator, but
give it a go, because if you don't like it, you can literally just shave it off.
Then it's gone, and then we'll never speak of it again. Maybe I'll do some kind of poll and see what the listeners think.
Everyone will say yes.
I do, and I'm a bit fearful of that in itself, because then I have to do it and I can't back out. So this is your boy cancelled. Claire, what are you cancelling?
I am cancelling setting fireworks off before it's even bonfire night. I'm done. My dog is scared for his life. At the end of the day, we all just want to be cozy in our homes at the moment, don't we? You know, if we can't go out and about. So can we just do it in peace without my dog running behind the couch every 5 minutes?
No one considers the dogs in this at all, and that bothers me.
They just don't. I mean, I love bonfire night. I'm so sad that we can't all get wrapped up and go to a display this year, because I absolutely love it. But the run up to it, when people around it by mine are setting them off in the daytime.
That's what bothers me the most. The daytime fireworks. There's no point, because all you're doing is making noise, because you can't see anything, and it's a waste of fireworks.
I know. I was thinking of cancelling something, like I was thinking of something like really deep and profound, and I thought, no, fireworks, get rid.
No, I agree. I mean, that's how we do it on this show. It's very rare we cancel serious things. It's usually like doing wheelies. Do you know what I mean? It's not it's not big things. That's not how we roll. What I'm cancelling: mask-caused acne. I don't know if you've been getting this, but like you can see on my face. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm the youngest man alive, but not. This isn't how I want to be the youngest man alive.
Why do you think I'm wearing a turtleneck as we speak?
It's the worst, isn't it? And it's that thing of because of wearing your mask for hours on end. And I know I've not got a problem wearing a mask. We've got to do it. I'm happy to do it. But like, I've got the skin I had when I was 15 now.
Has
come back all day. Yeah, it's the worst.
I'm so glad that you said it, because that was actually going to be one of my options of like things I would cancel, and I was like, oh, will that make me sound really vain? I'll say fireworks, but honestly, I've been struggling with it so much, like you have. And it's I mean, luckily, like I can put makeup on, and I've got like I said, I've got a turtleneck. Like I'm going to end up wearing this right up to my nostrils soon. But it is bad, isn't it?
It's that like dual thing of being like, oh, this mask is giving me really bad skin, but at least when I'm out, I'm wearing the mask so people aren't seeing my bad skin.
Yes.
It's the
you just have to look at it
yin and
yourself.
yang. Yeah.
Exactly.
But I'm aware in my mind, if my mask falls off and everyone sees the horror beneath.
Yeah. I had to go and buy an Acne face wash for the first time in years the other day, because I was like, nothing is getting rid of this. It's so stubborn.
Because it's not like...
Well, luckily we don't have to go anywhere at the moment, so not many people can see us.
It's not even like it's like I'm getting like massive spots, and I've never had massive spots since I was like literally like 14, 15. And like literally I'm like, it's not the look. No.
Do you know what? I've actually suffered with my skin like on and off forever, really. And there's no shame in it, you know what I mean? Like everyone gets it, and it's just one of those things. It's completely normal, and so many things can affect it: hormones, diet, all of that.
Stress.
But the worst thing that has been affecting mine lately, because mine was fine, my skin had really settled down, and then I went out one day on like a big shopping day and wore the mask like all day, and it just seems since then it's just been like, no, we're staying.
No, you're done. It's like you thought you were a grown-up, but no, we back. We here for life. Yeah.
We're here.
Yeah, that's literally it.
You're bored. Cancel.
So, talking about non-acne related things,
Fabulous.
what was the moment you decided you wanted to be a performer and do this with your life?
Right, I was literally 7 years of age.
I felt like you would be.
I was really young, and I have this memory of, and I don't want to sound like a spoiled brat, because I really wasn't that type of kid. I mean, ask my parents, they might say otherwise. But I remember being about 7, and I was watching the telly with my mum, and I don't remember what it was, probably something like Coronation Street. And I just started crying, and she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, I want to do what they're doing. And she was like, what, go the Rovers? And I was like, no, no, like I want to be on the telly. Like I want to be, you know, pretending to be other people and dressing up. And that week she put me in a drama school in Liverpool, and it's literally been one thing after another since, in terms of training, doing performances, being in theatre companies. So yeah, a very young age.
That's so interesting that it was Coronation Street of all things as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like 70% sure it was Corrie.
Yeah.
It probably was something like Corrie, or like Heartbeat.
Yeah. Because for me it was a lot later. Like I kind of always enjoyed acting and messing about, but it wasn't until I was kind of 16, 17 when I thought, oh, this is something I want to pursue. But it's interesting how everyone's got their different kind of stories and how it came about.
Definitely, and I think you change as well with the type of things that you want to go into.
Growing
up, I was very much like I wanted to be in musicals. Like I wanted to do like West End and stuff, and then so I'd done performing arts at college, and then when I went to uni, I just ended up doing straight acting. I wanted to go more down a, you know, just an acting route sort of thing. But it's funny, and I think with you being like 15, 16, you probably knew yourself a little bit more then as well, because you've got such a brilliant, unique style of writing, I think. And I always really thoroughly enjoy your performances. And I will be honest, not just as saying this as your friend, but whenever I go to see your stuff, I'm like, I've never seen anything like this before, this type of style. Like you definitely have your own little way of writing and your own quirky style, and I think it's great. And maybe that's because, you know, it did come to you a little bit later and you knew yourself a little bit more.
That's very nice to say. But yeah, the feeling's very much reciprocated. I always view you as kind of like such a pillar of like Liverpool fringe theatre for me.
Oh, thank you.
No, honestly. But one of the things that I struggle with a lot, and I'd love to hear what you feel about this, is I really struggle with rejection. I can't, like, I hate it, and it bothers me for ages. Like if it's a creative project. As a performer, how do you deal with that?
It is tough, and I remember it really getting to me when I was younger. But again, going back to, I think, doing it from such a young age. Like I remember being in a theatre company when I was like 13 and getting really upset that I never got cast as Cinderella. But like, why would I? I was 13. Like, I'm being really upset. And then just as the years have gone on, you know, you do sort of get used to it. It is part of the game. But I can accept it a lot more if I get some constructive feedback. So I remember going for the Everyman in-house company when they auditioned a couple of years ago, and they had to be able to cast you in about 6 plays, I think it was, and I got down to one of the last few people, and they sent me an email and they were like, I'm really sorry, but we just couldn't place you in the last play. There was no part for you. We couldn't find a way for you to be in that one. So and I saw that and I was like, oh, that's so annoying. Like, I'll just play a tree if you want me to in the last one, it's fine. But obviously it doesn't work like that. But when I saw that, I thought, you know what, that's nothing about my ability. They're not having a go at me as a performer. Just in this case, I didn't fit. Or there's been times where they've said to me, like, we already had the part of the husband and we wanted to cast the wife, and you and him just didn't really gel, or we didn't, you know, you didn't sort of fit into what we envisioned as a couple. So because you know, as awful as it is, but it is a lot to do with sometimes how you look in a part as well. So
completely,
you know, I'm a 5'9" size 5'9", size 14, redhead, you know, and so if they've cast a guy that they might be like, okay, well, he's like 5'4", and we wanted someone that was kind of petite like him to go with it. It's like, okay, that's fine. The more you do it, you kind of go, okay, it's just one of them things.
No, completely. And I think from being on both sides of it, from when you're casting, you see people who are incredible, and then you just think, but they're amazing and they did so well in this audition, but I don't see them as any of the people in this cast that I've got. And I think that's the difficult thing, especially in a city like Liverpool, where we kind of, everyone knows each other and you're on top of each other, and it's very tight knit as a theatre community. So when someone auditions for you, and I've had it before where, like, I've seen someone on a night out that I've maybe met in passing, but they've auditioned for something, and they've drunkenly said to me, "Why didn't you cast me in this?" And you think, and it's one of those things where, like, it's been said as a joke, but there's a little bit of meaning behind it, because that's why they said it. Yeah, exactly. And you're like, well, it wasn't me, it was a team decision, and oh god, I hate it. So you do see it from both sides.
Can we cancel giving people parts when we're drunk, please? Let's cancel that.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, like, there's networking, and then there's, you know, it would be great if we worked together on something when you're like 2 bottles deep, and you think, maybe this wasn't the cleverest thing to say.
Yeah, maybe you won't be the best for the part, but I think, like you just said, especially in Liverpool, it is quite close-knit. And to be honest, I have been quite lucky where I've worked with quite a lot of great people in the city. And then, you know, in terms of networking, I have been lucky where people have just sort of messaged me and gone, got you in mind for this part because we've worked together before, or, you know, they've seen me in something, and then, you know, we've gotten to know each other a little bit. So I've been quite lucky in that respect, where sometimes people have just messaged me and said, got you in mind for this part, you know, I still want you to come down and do a read through, but they've sort of approached me already with me in mind for it. But I know what you mean about it being a bit awkward, but I think because we write as well and create our own work, we do know what it's like when you see someone who's amazing, but you just think, oh, you're just not exactly what I wanted. So I appreciate that on the other side of the coin when I go to audition for people, and they say the same thing. And I've got a lot of creative friends who are writers, directors, filmmakers, who I've auditioned for, or they've put work on and not approached me, and I never ever get offended, because I know that they don't think I'm rubbish. It's just that you're not going to be cast in everything, you're not going to be the right part for everybody, and that's what people, I think, have to understand.
Completely.
So,
And I think a big thing as well, obviously pre-COVID, was it's a lot of it's always scheduling, isn't it? Like sometimes you want to work with
yeah,
somebody and they're like, oh, I'd love to, but I'm doing this thing and this thing and this thing, and it
yeah,
doesn't fit with what you're doing.
yeah.
Just like,
Sometimes that has been me.
mm. But
That's
yeah,
been
it
me a
happens,
few
doesn't it?
times.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it does. You don't want to commit to something and then be like having to cancel on rehearsals all the time, because that's not fair either. You're better off saying from the beginning, our schedules are just going to clash. I've got to sit this one out with thanks. So
yeah, nice to be thought of, but
think of me for the next one, maybe.
exactly. Raw in 20s was the show you've been working on, wasn't it?
Yes.
Tell us about
Yeah.
that. Obviously, you were supposed to go to Edinburgh with that. That's been moved
I
to
was.
next year now.
Yes, it's been moved to next year. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it all goes ahead next year as planned. Yeah, so Roaring Twenties was an idea sort of that started sort of pecking away at my brain a couple of years ago, and I just wanted to do a show that people could walk away from and go, you know what, it's okay if you don't have everything figured out. So it's called Roaring Twenties because it's all about experiences and life lessons that you have throughout your 20s, and it focuses on mental health, body image, relationships, jobs, all kinds of aspects in life, not even just in your 20s, throughout your life. But I put comedic stories to each of those aspects. So for when I get to the section about talking about jobs I've had in the past, oh, I've got millions of stories, like real life stories from working in places that have not been enjoyable, that I've been able to put into the script. So it's a one-woman show. It's a comedy piece. It's going to be about 50 minutes long, but it is just kind of all about like, look, this is what we all go through, and it's fine. There's obviously an element of sadness in there as well throughout things. So hopefully that gets on its feet before I have to do Raw in 30s.
And I think what you're saying about like the kind of concept is it's so true, and I feel like it's so important now to make theatre that's relatable to everybody, and not.
Yeah.
I think sometimes theatre can have like an exclusive feel, and I think more than ever now, I like that. That's the kind of work that I want to make, work that's kind of appeals to everybody, and like the concept of that really sounds like it would do.
Well, I hope so. Yeah, I want people to sort of like be watching and thinking, oh my God, I've done that on a night out as well. Or, oh yeah, oh, that's how I felt when I was 21 and, this happened. But also for people who might be approaching their 20s to be able to go, okay, so if that's what's going to happen, like it will be fine and we roll with it. And people who might be in their 60s who come and see it, 70s, and be like, yeah, I was like that and that's exactly what I learned.
Yeah.
Wish I'd learned or should have learned sooner.
So how have you dealt with this window of like inactivity, really? Because I think as kind of artists and creators, we spend a lot of time just juggling, trying to do so much stuff at once, trying to do a regular job while you're trying to do creative projects, trying to make it all work. So how has this kind of moment of that lack of activity been?
Well, you're so right in terms of juggling everything. And I think we sort of, us creatives, get on a sort of hamster wheel where we go and go and go, and we take work on and we work 14-hour days because it's a famine or a feast sometimes. So we just want to get the work when it's going, and if it's a bit quiet, we're making our own work because it's that go, keep going. So I'll be honest, when lockdown hit and the Fringe was cancelled and all my other projects were put on hold, I was actually quite relieved to put tools down, because there was an external excuse for me to be able to do that without beating myself up, because I'm terrible at going, oh, if I have 2 weeks of not doing anything creative, I'm failing in life. I'm a bad person. I'm not going to be where I want to be, because I should be working on it 24/7. And that there is that part that I really struggle with within me. So when the first lockdown happened, I was like, actually, this is nice. And I did start working full-time at the radio, because I was only doing the odd day. Like you said, you do like 10 jobs at once. So with the radio being a public service, I ended up going to 5 nights a week. So it's still a creative job, producing, going in and talking on air with the presenters, and it was amazing, and it's been brilliant. I'm still doing that now. So, you know, I was still doing something creative, but in terms of script writing, rehearsing for a play, all of that, I was kind of glad to be able to just breathe for a little bit.
Completely. I was the exact same way. I think especially with writing, because you put so much time into doing this project, which you may only do for a single run at a theatre, and then it's done. And then it's, so what's your next project? If you start this project, where's it going to be on? How long till you do it? And I think that it can be so detrimental to your own creativity, having that kind of mindset of, I need to have something that I'm writing now ready to go. I think I needed that space to go, and now I've gone and written something completely different from the last few projects I've done. And I think,
but that's it, isn't it? It gives you that time, that mental space to just come away from it. And when I didn't pick up Roaring Twenties then for about 5 months. And I'll be honest, before I put it down, I was starting to feel like it was homework. Like, I knew what I wanted to say, but I felt like it wasn't coming out properly, and I was really like giving myself a hard time over this script. And then when I come back to it in September, it was weird, because as soon as I looked at it, it was like, oh, no, cut that bit out. This is what I need to say. Condense it. That line needs to be funnier in this way. And it just gave me a new lease of life to have that time away, which we don't often get as creatives, because like you said, it's always on to the next project. We're scared to stop, aren't we?
Yeah, completely. Because you feel like in some ways you'll lose momentum if you're not constantly working, and you're not constantly networking and meeting people and saying, let's work on this project together. And it does, having that breathing space, like you were saying, is so important. I think just for your own mental well-being. What have you thought to, I mean, this is quite a big question, but what have you thought to kind of the response in the arts world to everything that's going on?
I mean, it's been hard, hasn't it, to hear once again. It's not the first time that the arts has been deemed as not a proper job, or, you know, we only heard a couple of years back that, you know, they were taking like drama out of certain curriculums. Is that correct? Am I correct?
No, that's true. Yeah,
I thought that was. And, you know, so there's always been this sort of like feeling anyway that we're not seen as sort of important as other jobs and things. But yeah, when this happened and the likes of the theatres and stuff were closing, it was really sad. But to see how creatives just supported each other and put content out online and fought and marched in the city centres, you know, it was actually quite heartwarming, because it's like, you know what, no, you can never get rid of us, because you can't have a world without art. You just can't. What type of world would it be? And we do exist, and we are important. And it's what people turned to when lockdown did happen.
Yeah,
you know,
completely. Which is ironic.
Of course, yeah. I mean, of course, the nurses and the doctors and the paramedics and the public, everyone that rallied round with all those type of jobs, they're so important and so needed. You know, the care workers and essential workers, but so is art, and that's what people turned to when they were stuck in their homes. They picked up a book, they watched live streams of Hamilton, and and maybe not live streams, but you know what I mean.
They streamed it. Yeah,
they streamed it, and they listened to music, or they might have finally picked up a guitar that's been gathering dust that they've not got around to learn. And I just think it's insane to think that the art is not important. But every time that we do get bashed down a little bit, I think we just come back stronger, and we come back with better material.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think they say kind of the best art comes from tumultuous times, don't they? And I feel like on the back end of this, we're going to get potentially some better work and more interesting work.
Yeah,
and work in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine the plays that are going to come out?
Oh yeah,
when they can come out. Can you imagine? It's going to be amazing, and I think the theatre industry especially will thrive, because people will be dying to get back to them and to see what people have to say. I have said though, when I go up to the Fringe next year, I don't know whether I can go and see any theatre that is about being in quarantine and
I
being
know. That's
in
the thing.
lockdown.
That's the
It's
thing.
like, enough.
Yeah, you know there's going to be so many Corona the musical, so many Lockdown
Literally.
the musical.
Love in Lockdown 2.0.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
love that.
All that's coming for us, isn't it? That's the
It is,
horror
it
of
is.
theatre that we've still got yet to come.
There's that side of it.
What advice would you have for your younger self?
I'm probably going back to the message that I want to give in Roaring Twenties is it's okay to not have everything figured out. Not everything's going to go to plan how you wanted it to, but sometimes that's for the best. Most of the time it's for the best. There's always going to be a reason for that. Just keep going. Don't be too hard on yourself, and you can do it.
I like that. I like that. No, and it's
and
true.
Start saving now.
Good Lord, that's a big one too.
Put a £5 away a week, as I told myself.
If we were to do this again 5 years from now,
Yeah.
what would you want to happen? Where would you want to be?
Oh, amazing. I would have liked to have gotten my own presenting show at the radio, so my own show, and to have been able to still create theatre and other work alongside that. Like, the dream would be to go and do like a mid-morning show at the radio, and then have the rest of the day to rehearse, write. You know, it's mad because if you'd have asked me that question when I was about 10, 12, I probably would have said be in the big movies and be in Hollywood and on the West End. But it's funny because sometimes as you get older, your idea of success changes, and success for me would to be be happy as well, and be able to still be creating.
Being content and creative is the important thing, isn't it?
Definitely.
I think that's a really interesting point about being younger, because for me, when I was kind of 16, 17, the aim was always I want to act and act in the work that I put on. But now I don't really have any interest in acting in the slightest. Like, all I really want to do is get my work on. And I think it's interesting how your definition of success changes as you get older.
You're bored. Cancel.
Cool. So we normally finish each episode with an unusual story. That's how we do every episode. But I thought, as you're a really big Lady Gaga fan, I would like to test your knowledge in a musical quiz.
Okay, I do have an unusual story that does involve Lady Gaga. Let's see how we go with this quiz.
Okay,
okay,
do that first. Okay.
Pressure.
So all I'm going to do, I'm going to play the opening 10 to 15 seconds of a Lady Gaga song, and you have to tell me what that song is.
Okay.
Cool. And I'm not sure how this is going to come across, because musically, I don't know how well you'll hear it, but we'll see what happens.
Let's have a go.
Okay.
Applause.
Very impressive. Yeah, got that in one. Okay, I'll start easy though. I'll start easy on you. And they'll be more difficult as they go along, okay? There's four in total, okay? So here's the second song.
Dancing in the dark.
Oh, you're good. You are good. Okay, this one I think could potentially be a bit more difficult, okay?
Okay.
This is number 3.
New album come out.
Yeah. I thought that was the one you might not get, okay? And this, I mean, the last one's easy as hell, so I know you'll get this one.
Okay. Wish I could. It's from A Star Is Born.
Mm-hmm.
I'll Never Love Again.
Damn, you...
Sorry, I had to sort of sing that to myself.
No, you got it though. I'm very impressed, to be fair. I thought you might have a few hiccups in there, but 4 out of 4, you are not
she's
phony.
my girl.
Yeah, you know your stuff. What was the story?
Okay, so I went to see Lady Gaga in Twickenham with my friend Liam. This was probably about 9 years ago. And a week later, she was performing in Liverpool, and I was in my friend's house, and we had the radio on, and they were like, oh, here's your chance to win Lady Gaga tickets for tonight. Just text Lady Gaga to blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. I was like, text them and tell them I will sing a Lady Gaga song on air if they give us those tickets. So we absolutely hounded, I think it was like Juice FM. We hounded them. And then the next minute the phone went, and he was like, hi, what was the guy's name? I can't remember his name. He was like, hi, do you mean what you say about singing live on air for these tickets? I was like, if you give me Lady Gaga tickets to go tonight, I'll sing whatever you want, mate. And he was like, okay, do it. So me and my friend had said, right, okay, we'll sing Bad Romance. And as it started, she burst out laughing and ran out the room and left me singing it by myself.
No.
And then he was like, okay, you've got the tickets. And she went, my mate went, oh my God. She ran back in the room. She went, oh my God. Grabbed the phone in the excitement and hung up on him. And I was like, no. Like, oh my God. But luckily they rang back. And I remember we literally like raided her wardrobe for something to wear. Her dad ran us to the Echo Arena. It was the Echo Arena at the time, but still be known as the Echo.
Yeah,
Arena.
I'll always know.
And we got in and we were like right near the front. So I could even see like a bruise she had on her bum cheek through the fishnets. And I was just like, this is amazing. And I messaged my friend who I'd been with in Twickenham like the week before, and I was like, guess where I am? And he was like, where? I was like, Lady Gaga's concert. And he was like, I'm going to kill you. I was like, I'm literally right at the front.
That's incredible.
But yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, completely. And she is such an incredible performer. Like her 2010 Brit Award performance is like the one that I'll always remember as being so damn iconic, which has got like the big Alexander McQueen. Like,
yes, red. Yeah, and she does the performance in the. Oh, hang on. Do you mean the one where she's all in white lace? And
yeah. And she plays the piano and then does Dancing Dark. Yeah.
The big, yeah. No, she's amazing.
Incredible.
That's why I'm such a fan, because I followed her from the very beginning, and I've even like listened to her album Red and Blue before she even became Lady Gaga. She was signed by someone else, and she was still under her original name, Stephanie Germanotta. So she actually did release an album as herself before becoming Lady Gaga. And I mean, there's some gorgeous songs on that. You can actually find it on YouTube. I sound like I work for her.
No, but if you're a fan, you know your stuff.
Well, that's it. I'm glad I got them right, and I'd never have lived that down.
Yeah, literally. That's why I did it. I was like, let's see how big a fan she really is. But no, very impressive. Claire, it's been a joy to talk to you. It's always a joy to talk to you. I can't wait to see what you come up with next, what new ideas you have, what shows you do. Thank you very much.
Adam, ditto. Thank you so much. This has been amazing. Can't wait to see you in person soon.